You think if you're really wealthy, you should have to pay a tax on your unrealized gain?
I think you should have to partially prepay if you're liquid, if you have liquidity to pay.
Do you think somebody? Why can't you economists answer questions? Should any American have to pay tax on unrealized gain? Why can't you just answer me?
Yes, there are some who should.
Who?
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into an intense congressional debate where Senator John Kennedy grills a Democratic witness on tax reform. It's a heated back and forth, and I've boiled it down into key points you need to know. If you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button and tap the bell icon so you never miss an update. Alright, let's get into it. The video kicks off with Senator John Kennedy putting Dr. Yagan, an expert witness, in the hot seat. Kennedy asks him a big question. If you could rewrite the U.S. tax code, what 3 changes would you make? Dr. Yagan suggests 3 major reforms. First, equalizing the tax burdens on labor and capital. Basically, he wants to close the gap between what workers and investors pay. Second, he calls for closing the Gingrich-Edwards loophole. Finally, he talks about stopping the abuse of trusts in estate taxes. Things heat up when Kennedy digs into Yagan's views on a wealth tax. Kennedy asks if unrealized gains, the increase in value of an asset that hasn't been sold, should be taxed. Yagan proposes a prepayment of taxes for the ultra-wealthy. If you're rich and have assets that have gone up in value but you haven't sold them, you should still pay taxes on a portion of those gains. This doesn't apply to those who can't afford it. Next, Dr. McBride raises concerns about taxing unrealized gains. He points out that European countries like France have tried wealth taxes, and it didn't end well. Wealthy taxpayers fled, and the tax base shrank. Kennedy questions why America would try something that hasn't worked elsewhere. Kennedy claims people are leaving high-tax states like New York and California for low-tax states like Texas and Florida. He argues this is basic economics. If you're rich, why stay somewhere that takes a bigger chunk of your income? Dr. Clausing defends high-tax states, saying they're still economically vibrant and attract talent. But Kennedy isn't buying it, pointing to study after study that shows people are voting with their feet. The debate hits a deeper philosophical level. Kennedy believes individuals can spend their money more efficiently than the government. He's fundamentally opposed to the idea that the government can handle taxpayer dollars better. Dr. Yagan and Dr. Clausing argue for a progressive tax system for a balanced and fair economy.
To pay.
Do you think somebody? Why can't you economists answer questions? Should any American have to pay tax on unrealized gain? Why can't you just answer me?
Yes, there are some who should.
Who?
The ultra-wealthy who have liquidity should prepay some tax.
What if they don't have liquidity?
They should not have to pay, and they will owe at sale, bequest, or gift.
So if you have cash, you ought to have to pay, but if you don't have to pay?
To prepay. I have in my testimony, there are examples of how this works so that you can preserve incentives to build a new company, take it public.
Okay. What do you think, Dr. McBride? Why do you and Dr. Yagan, why do y'all want to punish wealthy people?
I think I can speak for both of us that we're not interested in punishing anyone. We're interested in having a
taxing the hell out of
system.
them more than anybody else.
I think
what makes you think that making tax policy on the basis of class or status makes sense?
I think it's a very American phenomena that throughout the history of the income tax, we have valued progressivity, and our current income tax does that. We used to rely on things like tariffs to raise revenue. Tariffs are regressive consumption taxes that disproportionately hurt the poor. We believe in this country that those with a greater ability to pay should pay more of the burden. And that's part of what a healthy capitalism does. It enables people to gain from things like trade and technological change and business innovation, and to contribute a little more to the fiscal system when they're very successful in doing so. And I think that that's a very legitimate way to structure the tax system.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Why do you think so many wealthy people are leaving New York City?
New York City is, an incredible city of innovation, immigration, entrepreneurship.
Yeah, but why are so many wealthy people leaving?
I think there are big advantages to living near centers of entrepreneurial activity, and we see that on the West
You think
Coast
they're
as well.
leaving to be nearer to centers of entrepreneurial activity?
If you look at California,
Well, I
it's
don't
one of the
think
most
there are a lot
successful
of
economies
people,
in the world, and
you
it
know,
continues to be so. It
fleeing,
attracts
New York
people.
But they're
City,
losing
New York
people.
City has
Sure they are. They're
I
I don't think
thousands.
it's
I
in
mean,
any
there've been study
danger
after study after
of
study.
decline,
Why
nor
are
is
so
New York
many
City.
wealthy people
And
leaving
these are
New
very
York
vibrant
City?
places.
I
I
think
don't
there's
think
an
we're
enormous
going to
number
ever
of
Wealthy people
agree.
who are in New York
Yeah.
City
I
and
don't think
continue.
we're
But
going
why
to
are
ever
so many
agree.
leaving?
I can't speak to why
But
particular
I
people.
can tell you
know
why.
that-
It's taxes.
Thank you.
You know that as well as I do. It's
I
taxes.
think if you look at the economic,
Some of it's crime, but most of it is taxes.
well,
People vote with their feet. The same reason that people are leaving California and moving to Austin.
So, that's the gist of it, an intense debate on taxes, wealth, and government spending, with no clear resolution in sight. Kennedy and the witnesses fundamentally disagree on how to tax the rich and whether the government or individuals should control that money. Thanks for sticking with me through this breakdown. If you enjoyed this video or learned something new, hit that like button, drop a comment below on where you stand in this debate. And of course, don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into today's hottest issues. See you in the next one.